Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto, and today guys we are taking a look at XRP and we're asking that question: has Ripple won? Has the SEC surrendered and all of that good stuff? So let's take a look into some of that. I think it's going to be an interesting one, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah, really interesting. And obviously, after last night's live stream and my rant, I think we should just get straight into it, Nick.
Absolutely, there's lots of FUD out there, so let's try to clear up what we can. So as always, if you find it useful, informative, smash that like button. You know Chris appreciates it. I really appreciate it too. And if you're new to the channel and not yet subscribed, do go ahead and subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with all the videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Right, Chris. With all that said, now out of the way, let's jump on over to the XRP chart and just talk a little bit about Ripple and everything that is going on there. So as they say, things are just getting interesting. We're in Q1 of 2021, and there's basically a bit of a war brewing. There's a war drums are bashing, and ultimately it's SEC versus Ripple. Okay, and there are rumors, there's misinformation, there is FUD, the fear, the uncertainty, the doubt over what is going to happen with XRP with this particular lawsuit. And you can look to almost all the media outlets or Twitter, and it's everywhere, and it's really hard to avoid. So we're trying to put a little bit of a light-hearted approach, but also kind of get the facts out there as we see them. So as expected, Ripple have been tight-lipped regarding the lawsuit. Right, not a lot has really been spoken from those guys, and rightfully so. They're going to be advised not to talk about it. Right, so you get little snippets here and there, but nothing major. Okay, and those fragments that we have got are interesting. They're interesting facts and events. Now, if we look at some other big news that's happened recently, we obviously have a new chairman of the SEC, and Gary has an interesting past in himself, and it's one to pay attention to. We also did a video on that SEC. So do check that out if you're interested to know what his background is. We're going to go through a little bit of it, but ultimately, we're going to focus in on the SEC lawsuit, and we don't necessarily buy into the theory that it's going to be better or worse given Gary's position, right? So there's been a lot of hysteria. We've seen it on Twitter and we've seen it in our live streams that ultimately Gary's comments about XRP being a security, which go way back to when he was given a lecture at the MIT, right? And that was in 2018. And he, in that lecture stated that XRP was a security, right? But he also, in a follow-up session, I believe, said it was a currency in a different lecture, I believe. So ultimately, whether and this is a quote from him himself: whether XRP is a security or not will be up to the courts and not me, right? So ultimately, he knows his opinion doesn't matter whether it was an XRP. At least it didn't back in 2018. So if XRP is a security, now his opinion actually starts to mean something, right?
Yeah, and I think, Nick, let us know in the comments below as well whether you think that XRP is a security or it isn't a security. I'd be interested to see.
Absolutely. So I can understand how that statement itself it may worry people, right? That in 2018, Gary thought that XRP was a security, but a lot has changed since 2018, right? So that's a good 2 and a bit years, and XRP, Ripple, they have changed dramatically in that period. And then that second lecture that I kind of hinted to, which is where Gary was actually explaining the use cases of XRP, and in that he called it a currency. So even in his mind, between those two lectures, he doesn't necessarily know if it was a security or a currency. So, I'm not buying into the FUD around that. People say things all the time, and you can always bring them up at any point to try to prove a point for yourselves. But for now, let's see how things progress. I'm not going to say that XRP was not a security. I believe it was a security at one point in its life, and things change and adapt as time progresses. So yes, he called it a currency, and it's worth keeping it in mind. And it goes to show that while everyone is scrambling to better understand crypto as a whole, opinions and ideas might evolve over time as well. So I definitely think it was a security at one point in its life, and it became something else. This is something that the UK government have come out and talked about a lot as well with unregulated digital assets. They can be one or two things at different points in time, and it's easy to understand that when you really break into it and dig deeper. So this might be what actually was happening back in 2018 during those lectures, right? He might think of XRP as a security one month, and then all of a sudden it's a currency the next. So do try to be unemotional and logical about it. So now there comes some interesting points to kind of bring up, right? There's the fact that Gary used to be the chair of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, the CFTC. And that was between 2009 and 2014. And during that time, the CFTC declared XRP as a currency and fined Ripple based on currency laws. Okay, so if the CFTC have said it's a currency and then they proceed to fine Ripple for currency laws all around money laundering, practices and know your customer practices, then ultimately, surely, that's got to account for something during this court case as well. You can't have one branch of government saying it's a currency and another saying it is a security. You definitely need to get your own house in order. At least that's my opinion. So moving on, whilst he was, in fact, actually, this is an interesting point worth bringing up, Chris, as well, is that did you know that Gary was appointed as the chair of the CFTC? And who was that? That was Barack Obama, right? Barack Obama basically appointed Gary as the chair of the CFTC. And did you know that Barack Obama appointed the chair of the SEC during Gary's time at the CFTC, which was 𝗕𝗓𝗄 White? And do you know who is currently Ripple's legal team while they wage war on the SEC? That's right, that's 𝗕𝗓𝗄 White. So this is where it gets super interesting. Gary, the new head of, or chairman, I should say, of the SEC, definitely would have had a close working relationship with 𝗕𝗓𝗄 White, both during their times as head and chairman of the CFTC, but also the SEC, and the fact that they work for the same administration under Barack Obama. So they definitely know each other. And whether that causes a conflict of interest, it's going to be one to pay attention to. So there is no way that they didn't know each other, right? It's just they have to. There's no way that they cannot. And that's enough dot joining, Chris. I don't want this to become a video where we're just joining dots all the time, but those are just facts that are out there, right? So there's one last thing, I guess, that we need to bring up, and that is the rumor that the SEC have already dropped the case. Or have settled with Ripple. That definitely isn't the case, not as we see it yet. There is absolutely no proof that we found to indicate such a thing. There's speculation and all that kind of stuff, but there's no concrete evidence of it. In fact, if you look at the available information as well, Chris, it actually shows the opposite. It shows that actually things are heating up, right? Not cooling down. So lawyers all over the place are kind of popping up saying, well, actually, if the SEC was withdrawing its lawsuit, why would the Ripple defense attorney basically file motions to appear on the record? That wouldn't make sense at all. It would only make sense that the defendants are actually gearing up for a fight and to basically reply to the allegations. So absolutely not what we're seeing. I kind of want to put this out there, as you were ranting earlier, Chris, on that live stream yesterday, talking about XRP going to zero. That's definitely not the case. It's being used everywhere. There's new partnerships being launched. The lawsuit is still going on. It is not being dropped. They haven't settled, at least not yet. So don't fall for the rumors. Don't fall for that fake information. Don't fall for the FUD. And to the maxis, there's more than one project that will succeed in this space. XRP, we do not believe will go to zero. It's being utilized by far too many people around the world, despite what the US want to believe. So stay informed, stay logical, and ultimately, I think it's going to be an interesting fight. Neither are going to back down, it's going to be an interesting one, Chris.
Yeah, completely agree. And rant aside from yesterday, it is what it is. and you know, you're always going to get this FUD out there, aren't you? And all these conspiracy theorists, you know, putting their FUD out into the space. And I guess there's always an element of truth in all of these stories. But yeah, no settlement yet. I do personally believe that there will be a settlement that's going to work for both parties. But having said that, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that, you know, Ripple are going to, you know, fight, and, you know, fact that they've already been sort of having to deal with being labelled a currency previously, and having to deal with all that stuff in the background. Maybe they're going to fight it with that in mind.
Absolutely. And you know, we've obviously got the chart up in front of us. We've been looking at that during that that kind of explanation of the events that we see them. We are expecting something to happen today. One of these trend lines is going to support, one's going to break. Chances are, what I'm personally hoping for is that the downward trend breaks, because we are in a triangular wedge, a very, very tight one now. Something is going to happen here. We're either going to succumb to the pressure and, you know, fall down short again, or we are going to smash on up. So yeah, one thing is for certain, tomorrow is going to be an interesting day for XRP, Chris. One of these trend lines will fail, and we will know for sure which direction XRP is going to be taken in the short term. So with all that said, we hope you have you know, you've enjoyed tonight's video, and you know, if you found it useful, informative, do go ahead and smash that like button. You know how Chris appreciates that. And if you're new to the channel and not yet subscribed, do go ahead and subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with all the videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And with all that said, we hope you have a fantastic day, guys, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Yeah, take care.